You're driving home. Nothing illegal in the car. You're sober. You're calm. Just trying to get home. Suddenly, flashing lights. You pull over. The officer walks up, asks the usual questions. Then, mind if I take a look inside your vehicle? You pause. You don't want to seem guilty. You don't want trouble. But here's the thing. That single moment right there can change your life. Hi, I'm criminal defense attorney J. Scott Smith, and I've been practicing criminal law in North Carolina for over 18 years. Today we're breaking down 5 tricks cops use to search your car in North Carolina, even when they legally shouldn't. We'll explain what the law actually says and what officers actually do and how you can protect yourself without escalating the situation. Let's get into it. Trick number 1, the friendly chat. You get pulled over for a minor issue like speeding, tail light, expired tag. The officer handles a stop, but then casually keeps chatting. So where you heading tonight? You seem a little nervous. Nice stickers. Big Panthers fan? This feels like small talk, but it's not. This is a deliberate tactic to prolong the stop. Why? Because once the official reason for the stop's handled, they can't legally keep you unless there's new suspicion. But by keeping you talking, they're buying time to observe, to record your body language, and even to wait for a canine unit. And here's the kicker. Nervousness alone isn't enough to justify a search. Courts know people get nervous during stops, but cops still use your reactions to build reasonable suspicion. Here's what to do. Stay polite. Stay calm. If the tickets have been handled and they're still chatting, ask clearly, "Officer, am I free to go?" Or, "Are we done here?" Or, "Am I being detained?" That one sentence signals that you know your rights. If they say you're not free to go, they need a legal reason, and that's something that your lawyer can challenge later. Trick number 2, just wait here, the canine is coming. Let's say the stop's nearly done. You're ready to leave, but then you hear, "Just hang tight, we've got a canine unit on the way." Or worse, no explanation at all. You just sit there waiting, and suddenly a police dog sniffing your car. Most people think, well, I've got nothing to hide, what's the harm? But that delay, that wait for the canine, that's the harm. The Supreme Court ruled in Rodriguez versus United States, if an officer prolongs a stop, even by a few minutes to allow a dog sniff, without new suspicion, that violates the Fourth Amendment. North Carolina courts follow this too. You cannot be detained just to wait for a dog, unless there's a valid new reason. When you hear mentions of a dog or you're waiting too long, ask again, "Am I free to go?" If not, calmly ask, "Am I being detained? And what's the reason?" You're not resisting, you're asserting. Don't consent, don't panic, don't escalate. If they're bluffing, they'll likely let you go. If they push ahead, that may become evidence for court suppression later. Trap number 3, the consent trap. You don't have anything illegal in your car, right? So you wouldn't mind if I take a quick look then? That's the trap. Most people don't realize that you can legally say no, but cops are trained to phrase this like it's a routine. It's casual, not a big deal. Even worse, a shrug, silence, or a hesitation can be interpreted as consent. Courts have upheld searches based on just a nod or a failure to object. Why? Because once you've said yes, even non-verbally, you've waived your rights. Never shrug. Never say, "Sure, I guess." Instead, be clear. "I do not consent to any searches." Say it out loud, calmly, not aggressive, just firm. "Officer, I do not consent to a search of my vehicle." That's your shield. And if they search anyway, you've preserved that issue for court. Your refusal matters. Trick number 4, I smell marijuana. Out of nowhere, I smell marijuana. Your heart drops. Maybe a friend smoked earlier. Maybe you had legal hemp. Maybe nothing at all. Here's the trick. Claiming the smell of marijuana gives probable cause for a search, even without consent. And in North Carolina, as of now, the courts still accept odor alone as cause, despite hemp being legal and indistinguishable by smell. So even if you're completely clean, this phrase can fast-track a full vehicle search. If they say they smell something, you're not stopping the search. But your job now is damage control. Stay calm. Do not escalate. Do not consent. You can say, "Officer, I'm not aware of any odor." Or even ask, "Burnt or raw smell, officer?" This forces specificity. But more than anything, I do not consent to any searches. Let them proceed if they're going to. If they find nothing, you walk. If they do, your refusal might help in court. Trick number 5, pressure, threats, and sweet talk. This one's psychological. If you cooperate, I can talk to the DA. If you don't let me search, we'll wait here for a warrant. Help me help you. If you're honest, we'll just let you go. They want you to feel like you have no choice, but here's the law. Consent obtained under false authority is invalid. If they say, we'll get a warrant, but they can't, that's coercion. Same with promises. Cops can't legally cut you a deal roadside. That's up to prosecutors. So if you fold under the pressure and say, fine, just search, you've given up legal protections. Don't fight, don't argue, just hold the line. Officer, I do not consent to any searches. If you feel you need a warrant, I understand. That's it. If they can get a warrant, they will. If they can't, they won't. But now they have to prove it later. Here's what we've covered. Number 1, friendly chat. Subtle way to prolong the stop. You ask, am I free to go? Number 2, just wait for the dog. This is illegal unless there's new suspicion. You ask, am I being detained? Number 3, mind if I search? Say clearly, I do not consent to any searches. Number 4, I smell marijuana. Stay calm, refuse consent, and document it mentally. Number 5, cooperate or else. You hold the line. I understand, but I do not consent. Knowing this won't stop every bad encounter, but it does give you power. Not to be rude, not to be reckless, but to be prepared. Because in the moment you're pulled over, you're in a legal gray zone, and every word you say matters. Speaking of what you say, did you know that cops have trick questions? Trick questions they can ask you if they suspect you of driving while impaired? Check out this next video where I break down the trick questions cops use during DWI stops in North Carolina and how to shut them down. And remember, arrested doesn't mean guilty.